everybody, how you doing today? Here I am on a very, very wet, chilly day, southern Georgia. Very rare for down here. It's been a torrential downpour all day. Getting here took a long time. Cutbert is the town that I'm near. I'm about 5 miles outside. Not too far from the Florida state line, I think. And this is, let me show you. Well, the camera's probably going to get very, very wet during this video as we walk around here. You can see the streets are lots of puddles, and it has just been raining and raining. Really crazy weather for down here. Georgia's supposed to be bright and sunny at all times. That was the memo I got, but I've been to Georgia many, many times for many videos. It's probably my favorite state, but this is unreal. A lot of these little churches around here look to have seen better days. The town itself, when I drove through, had some beautiful, beautiful old southern homes. Some abandoned, some kind of just run down, but some beautiful. Cutbert's a lovely little town. That's a historic district I showed you as we drove through. And this is a video I've been waiting to do for quite a long time. We've heard of Rosa Parks. We've heard of Emmett Till. Whoa. Excuse me. Whoa. We've heard of Rosa Parks. We've heard of Emmett Till. Lena Baker is a name you may not know about. Her story is, I think, needs to be told. Needs to be shared. I hope I do the story justice. It is Black History Month, and this is the video I really wanted to do and talk to you and tell you about the story of Lena Baker. She's buried out here behind the cemetery. I haven't been yet. I'm hoping it's open. We're going to walk over there. Well, walk around, I should say. And, yeah, let's try to navigate our way through here. It's a little muddy and wet, but that doesn't bother me. It's more the camera. I want you to be able to see when I'm showing you, because it's all well, it was raining really, really hard. Now it's kind of let up. There's a little bit of you can see kind of the sun trying to get through, but it's not going to happen. All right, here we go. There is an opening in the gate.
Wind got a little rough at this point. Lena Baker was the only woman to ever be executed in Georgia's electric chair.
She was executed in 1945. She was convicted of murdering a man who had imprisoned her. At the time of her execution, the Georgia prison system was under harsh scrutiny for reform. All I know is her grave is somewhere, I believe, near the back. But I thought we'd like to take a look at some of these other graves as we walk over. There's even one right here. Here's the back of the church here, and that was the pastor's residence that I was talking about. Whew. Wow. It looks like some newer graves here as well. People are still being buried out here. So Lena was born in Cotton Hill. That's about 5 miles southwest of here. She and her family, which included a brother and 2 sisters, they did farm work for a living. Baker and her parents moved to Cuthbert, where she cleaned houses and did laundry to support herself and her 3 children. There's a man named Ernest Knight. He was a local gristmill owner. He hired her to care for him while he recovered from a broken leg. It was reported that Knight, who was white, soon began to lock Lena Baker, African American, in the gristmill for days at a time. Now, Baker testified at her trial that Knight had forced her from her home on the evening of April 29th, 1944, and taken her to the gristmill where he locked her in. Her testimony in the court record indicates that the two tussled over a pistol, which fired, killing Knight. So the trial convened on August 14th, 1994. at the courthouse over in Randolph County. The judge was named Charles William Two Gun Worrell. Two Gun was his nickname. He presided at court with 2 pistols on his bench. Okay. In her testimony, Lena described how Knight locked her in the mill house while he went to a church singing. When he returned, he brought her something to eat, but refused to let her leave. When she insisted on going home, the two began to argue, and Knight brandished an iron bar that was used to lock the door. Baker said she feared for her life and attempted to push past him to leave. As she did, he was shot through the head. Baker testified that she walked immediately to the house of the county coroner, a man she'd done field work for before, and told him that she had killed Ernest Knight. The trial, it lasted less than a day and concluded with a guilty verdict and a death sentence for her. I'm not sure where. Oh, there. I think there she is back there. The judge, what was his name? 2 pistols, 2 guns. The judge sentenced her to be executed. The governor at the time, Alice Arnold, he granted Lena a 60-day reprieve so that the Board of Pardons and Parole could review the case. And in January 1945, the board denied clemency. Her execution date was rescheduled for March 5th, 1945, and she was taken to state prison on February 23rd, 1945. Reidsville State Prison. Now, Lena Baker was ultimately executed. She went to her death calmly, proclaiming her innocence. Her last words were, and I quote, "What I done, I did in self-defense, or I would have been killed myself. Where I was, I could not overcome it. God has forgiven me. I have nothing against anyone. I picked cotton for Mr. Pritchett, and he has been good to me. I am ready to go. I am one in the number. I am ready to meet my God. I have a very strong conscience." She was pronounced dead at 11:36 a.m. after 6 minutes and several shocks. The local newspaper reported her death with the headline, "Baker Burns." In 1998, this headstone was put up for her. 1998. Otherwise, she laid here unmarked for that long. So a few other things about the electric chair. In Georgia, 2001, that's when they discontinued the use of the electric chair. Now they use lethal injection. You can go visit and you can go see the chair still, which is odd. In Redsville, morbidly known as Old Sparky, you see the chair, the generator, the switchboard, the embalming room, death row cells, and the recreation area known as the Last Mile. The under death sentence register is also on display along with other official documents. Most prominent is a stark black and white photograph of Lena taken the day she was signed in the prison, and typed underneath are her last words. In August of 2005, Lena was posthumously pardoned by the State Board of Pardons and Paroles. The board acknowledged that the 1945 decision to deny Lena Baker clemency was a grievous error, and that she could have been charged with the lesser crime of voluntary manslaughter, which would have prevented the sentence of capital punishment. I should mention, and I think this is somewhat obvious, that the jury was all white, all male, and delivered its guilty verdict in 20 minutes. Oh yeah, and her appeal never really made it beyond the county court because her court-appointed attorney immediately resigned from the case, leaving her without counsel. So she defended herself to the end. You can see lots of people have come out here. There's a lot of flowers back here. This is unbelievable. Here lies Lena, June 8th, 1900 to March 5th, 1945, and it reads, "The only woman to die in Georgia's electric chair, pardoned in 2005.
I'm going to do a little voiceover for this part because I read a lot online for this video. Something else I read, though, just to give further insight into Lena and what happened, was apparently Knight had sexually assaulted her multiple times, and he would keep her imprisoned there for days at a time in near slavery. His son and townspeople disliked their relationship, quote unquote, and tried to end it through threatening Baker. Now, at her trial, Lena testified that Knight had forced her to be with him on that Saturday evening of April 29th. The town, like I said, disliked their sexual relationship, and the county sheriff had warned her to stay away from Knight or risk being sent to jail. But she was very afraid of Knight's physical abuse, and he had forced relations on her. His son also beat her on another occasion, warning her to stay away from his father. Lena testified that she got away from Knight that evening, slept in the woods, but when she returned to Cutbert the next morning, Knight cornered her, taking her to the gristmill and locking her in. When Knight returned, Baker told him she was leaving. And according to Lena Baker, they tussled over the pistol after he threatened her with an iron bar.
As we walk away from Lena's grave, take a look at some of the other ones that are here on the property. I'm really very, very sorry. The lens is wet. They're starting to rain again, so it's hard for me to tell how wet the lens is. I'm looking through it, seems okay. Wow. 1963. Nin- 2001. 2001. Yeah, 2001. Oh yeah, 2012. Lena's right at the very back of the cemetery if you want to come out here to take a look and to pay your respects. Unreal what happened to Lena. Self-defense, but not a fair trial. Such a travesty, a miscarriage of justice what happened to Lena. You can see her grave right there, right in the middle there. An African American woman killing a white male, all white, all male jury afterward, deciding her fate. She had no chance. Unbelievable. I can see now, big splotch on the camera from the rain, trying to clean it off. And one second, definitely not. It's starting to rain again. Well, that was my visit to Lena. I hope maybe people will want to read up on the story. A lot online about it. There's a movie made about her. That's a great movie that I watched. And yeah, glad I was able to tell this story. I hope I did it justice, and I hope I did it justice for Lena in terms of the story. She'll never get justice properly, of course. No, she will not. Rest in peace, Lena, and everyone else here in this cemetery here. I'm sorry about that splotch on the camera. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Peace out.